Our fantastic, incredible president, Joe Biden, 1 week from today will no longer be president. And I know a lot of MAGAs are celebrating that, and they think this is the greatest day of their lives. And I'll tell you what, they are, they're lining this up, as if they're going to be in Times Square on New Year's Eve and the ball is dropping. The countdown is on. The biggest celebration of these losers' lives are going to be the fact that the libtards have been trolled to the ultimate degree, and that Joe Biden, one of the greatest presidents of our lifetime, and there's a strong case that he could be the most effective president of our lifetime, will no longer be. The latest jobs report just came out, his last jobs report, and added over 200,000 jobs when they thought that they were going to add about 100. I think it was 170,000 was the thought. In 48 months, 4 years as Joe Biden of being president, did not have 1 month of negative job growth. That he outpaced, the GDP was up. He outpaced inflation with wages. The stock market hit record highs under his presidency. And again, I'm pretty sure most people who do not understand the economy do not understand how remarkable he steered our ship from the time he took over to where we are at now. Because Lana and I will talk about this, and this is something we will say over and over and over again. In fact, somebody might be tuning in right now and going, Jesus Christ, why is Black and White doing a rerun from months ago? This is not a rerun. We are saying once again that Joe Biden, what he did post-pandemic has put us as the number one economy in the world. And we had what was called the soft landing that all economists said that we would not all, but many economists said we're going to have a rocky thing and we're going to go through a big recession. We never hit the recession that they all said we were going to hit. What Joe Biden did, you should be proud as an American that he was our president. You should be ashamed that he's not going to be our president, and you let this dipshit take over who is now going to ruin our economy. Lana, what do you think?
I believe that they will praise Biden's economy.
Me too.
Once Trump takes office, because they're going to claim it's Trump's. That's when he's going to go.
That's a no-brainer and a no-doubter. You know what? Because 1 month from now, the economic numbers will be good. And you know what they're going to do. Look what happens when Trump takes office. But this is, I don't even know who the fuck this guy is. They call him the vice president, but JD Vance, wherever he's been, and exactly. I don't know. I haven't heard much from JD. I've heard from President Musk. I've heard from the spokesperson, Donald Trump. But JD Vance made an appearance on one of the Sunday Safe Space shows, and he was asked about the economy that he's getting ready to take it over. And this is what this fucking liar had to say.
On the border, he wants to talk about what he's left you on the economy. There was a robust report out of December on jobs, unemployment down to 4.1%. President Biden says his policy decisions are finally paying off. Here's a bit of more he said on Friday.
Sure.
After decades of trickle-down economics
that
primarily benefited those at the very top, Kamala and I and our administration have written a new playbook that's growing the economy.
I love you. Oh, shit. I love he always gives Kamala credit, by the way.
Hold on. I and our administration have written a new playbook that's growing the economy from the middle out and the bottom up that benefits everyone. The new playbook is working.
Okay, so the December numbers were good. What kind of credit do you give him?
Well, look, first of all, I wish Joe Biden all the best. But the fact is he has left us a dumpster fire, not just at the border, but also with the economy. First of all, we know that prices are way too high for many Americans. We have to work every single day to stabilize prices for American families. But Shannon, everything that he's bragging about ignores the fact that he has added trillions and trillions of dollars to the federal debt.
Donald Trump added double.
Peace. He has left us with bond yields, meaning how are we going to finance that debt? We have to sell Treasury bonds. And the Treasury bonds have gotten more expensive because of Joe Biden's policies. So you go issue after issue. Oil prices are now shooting through the roof in the final 2 months of Joe Biden's administration, in part because of decisions that Joe Biden has made over the last few weeks. He actually hasn't left the American people in good economic condition. That's why they made Donald J. Trump the president-elect of the United States. So we've got a lot of work to do. I remain fundamentally, and you know this, Shannon, I'll always be an optimist about our country, but I think that that optimism has to start with a bit of realism. And the real truth is that Joe Biden has left us a dumpster fire. Donald Trump is going to have to put it out, but he's good at doing that.
Yeah, realism. This is the same guy that left people thinking that Haitians were eating pets in Ohio. There's nothing real about this administration and what they tell the American people. This is all horseshit. Joe Biden, just look at any economist right now. They will tell you that the Trump administration is taking over a great economy, and he's taking over the number one economy in the world, period. End of story. There's no argument here.
Yeah. No one's, come on. Like, again, when we couldn't buy toilet tissue, paper towels, all that shit, Lysol was like $10 for a spray can. Like, yeah, that was a problem, and that was under Donald Trump.
Absolutely. And you know what's I've said this before. I don't blame Donald Trump, because what happened was I will blame Donald Trump all day for the people losing their lives over COVID and the pandemic and how he handled that. That he handled as a disaster. But the economy and all the numbers that Donald Trump left Joe Biden was going to happen regardless of who the president was, because that's what the pandemic did. It was a global issue. And there are countries that are still trying to recover from the pandemic. And we did it better than anybody. It's not even close. We are the envy of every country in the world. But this is what JD Vance is doing. He is setting up already that Joe Biden left us a dumpster fire, but the flying monkeys are going to literally think that 1 month later, because of all the good economic numbers that are come out a month later, is going to be just because Donald Trump is sitting in the Oval Office. Right. Breathe, Lana, because we need to do a lot of breathing and reading. Reading about how to keep your mind straight. That's what I've been doing. Meditate. That's a good thing. Meditate, read, and keep your mind clear. Because when we do that and our mind is clear, like I said, what's going to happen? Lana and I, we know we're not somebody that goes around and say we have one of the top podcast shows on YouTube, even though we think we do a very good job. But all of us need to use our intelligence. We need to use our clear minds to combat this insane ridiculousness that we're going to have to sit through for the next 4 years. And Lana and I have had discussions before, and we thought it's going to be tiring. There was even a part, I'm not going to speak for Lana, but there was part of me at one point, I was like, I don't know if I can fucking do this. I really don't, but I cleared my mind and I said, you know what? I fucking can do this, because at some point, actually, there's a part of me that's going to be fun, because it's just going to be, we're going to have to, sit on we are all of us are Americans, and we're all on the Titanic now. And the Titanic's going down. And if you remember the Titanic, there was a bunch of poor people on there who were down at the bottom, and they were the workers. And then you had the rich people. Well, the rich people, these idiots, they think the rich people represent the MAGA people. They think they're the rich people here, and that we're the poor people on the bottom. Guess what? When this ship sinks, all of us are going down, you fucking idiots. All of us. Yeah. And, we'll wave bye to you as you're going down, and you'll say, what happened and why am I going down with you? This one's supposed to happen, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, no, it is. It is.
All right.
Not the first month, not the second month, may not even be the first year.
Right. Well, if we can get to year 2 and shore up the Congress, because traditionally, regardless, forget about Trump, forget about the Democrats, Republicans. Traditionally,
Right.
it's very difficult to win a midterm for the president when in his first couple of years.